And then again, I say hi, everyone. We have our weekly Zoom calls as always, and I know that many of you, due to different time zones we are in and work and obligations, it's not always possible that everyone joins. Therefore, we have the recording, and I see it on my Zoom account how many people are actually watching it, and I get very good feedback. So we keep doing our updates. Today, we basically, what we're going to do is we always want to keep you guys in the loop. So we are telling you exactly what we have been doing over the last week. On Tuesday, I had to cancel my call because of due to a nice, pretty migraine, which is by now gone. And now, well, we're just going to basically update you on everything that has happened behind the screens. And I would pass the mic straight to Andre because he is the magician behind what's going on right now. Lots of work being done, and he can talk about everything he has been doing lately. Andre, go.
Hi guys, magician's a very kind word. I appreciate the compliments. Sometimes it's the most simple things done really, really well that just feel like magic. So I just think it's just we're just doing really good work the right way. So okay, guys, s- the week before was prep week. This week was all production launch related stuff, refining the go to market deployment mechanism. We actually have quite a couple things to discuss, and we've been speaking to some of you personally. Josh, quick shout out to you. You constantly flow a great amount of questions at us that help us also understand what we need to present and when we need to, how we sequence what we present. So we created more visuals. Specifically, what I was talking about, Josh, was the how does the actual token get priced, and it's he had made a good point that people don't actually understand how in a decentralized setting a price for an asset is set. So we can quickly brisk over that. Maybe that was one of your questions that we can latch onto later. But the week was is a very blessed, very blessed week. It was very intense in terms of product actual development. So I'm going to run through a bunch of different components. They're not in perfect order, but we prepare starting somewhere is that we prepared more actual content. So I'm not last week we showed you the node flow logic, just a very basic image of how value flows to the nodes. I think maybe Carol, I'll share my screen for a second and just quickly hop through the four main visuals that we're working with right now and the others that are in works uh, at the moment. So there's a lot of questions constantly coming out. So this one is what we showed you guys last time, just how the nodes flow. The buy sell loop, very simple. It's just a very intuitive concept. Now we made an actual. Oh, that's not the right one. The one of the most important questions one of the biggest questions we've been getting is how do people that are not node owners become interested in actually buying C's or getting involved in C's? So this is as simple as we can distill it down. Number one is whenever a node, which is colloquially basically a whale within the C's structure. So the node comes in with for $100,000 buy, and the price of the token is $1. They get taxed, and they're filled 90,000 C's. 90,000 C's at the current price of $1, because the price hasn't changed. The price actually goes up with this purchase. Means that their spot basket of 90,000 tokens is worth $90,000 and plus whatever the price moves up on the buy. Then they will only be selling at about $1.25. That means the price would have to rise 25%. The difference between the dollar where the price is at and the $1.25 all becomes a speculative trading range. Speculative market participants see the situation happening and start piling in an attempt to close that actual gap. And this becomes much more dynamic because this applies to one node. As nodes enter at different points, that game becomes a lot more intricate and complex, because if this node came in $1 and the next node entered at 110, this node is disincentivized from leaving, knowing that the other node entered at a higher level. But not all nodes are intended to sell, which is what creates this speculative feel to it. So, of course, we'll send this to you guys so you can actually take a look at it. And the third one is, well, obviously it was made by me, so it's way more difficult to digest. We're gonna have this Yuri created in a much more visually appealing form factor. What this is at a high level, just so that everybody understands the scope of information that we're actually putting out there, is this is how the node taxation yield value actually flows, how the yield is actually accrued, where it goes. Like let's say 30 days. So anyway, if 4 nodes came in and this is the order, these two came in simultaneously, second, third, how do they actually share in the value being generated by the network? How are these actual fees calculated? This is a little bit more complex. I'm not going to sit here and make you guys go through each one. We'll share this for whoever wants to see it, and we'll have a much more friendly version probably by early next week, probably by Monday or Tuesday. So there's more and more of this kind of actual content being created. There's also the token one pager. And Caro, if you would be so kind, can you please share it in the whitelist with the node flow logic? Because there's people bring up a lot of these good questions, and sometimes it's hard to explain the simplest of things. And the SEAS token is the token that encapsulates the tokenization of the yield system end to end. It's owning the business model, it's owning the yield flow, it's owning the network, and we were able to distill down into a one pager so people clearly understand what the value prop is. So moving on from that, so we're creating more visuals and helping. Now, what I said earlier is this week was all about go-to-market sequencing, which is now finally essentially finished. There's different paths to actually going to market, different distributions of tokens to deploy in order to actually kick the market off, ways to combat snipers and control MEV bots. There's a bunch of technical nuances that go into making sure this launches smoothly and little to no capital is wasted, again, to things like snipers, these unintended on-chain bots or actors that are obviously self-interested. We also finished in part of the go-to-market sequencing. The most important, the key to it all, which is probably something we're going to want to talk about today, is when does the thing actually launch? When can we actually, can everybody actually trade this and go send people to buy it on any exchange? We needed to prepare and finish the distribution CSV. It's basically a file for understanding who gets how many tokens when, and it's a lot more complex because of the relationships in these actual assets. There's we'll talk about a couple of these things as we go through. In part of the deployments, as we're testing, one of the necessary components that we, again, you figure out the path as you go, is there needs to be an automated, what we call the YMS, which we will also be adding to the Git books in the near term. The YMS is a yield management system. It's effectively a circuit of logic that dictates how the branch chain of the chain reaction, basically where assets are accumulated, how are they dispersed, in what sequence, because there's always a question that arrives. If all the yield is accumulated either real time or at a given moment, how do you prioritize which nodes receives the assets first? And there shouldn't be a first. However, there's just a physical limit, quote unquote, to blocks, and to many transactions can be sent at one time. So there's a lot of these new fine-tuned things that are being worked out. But of course, this is all part of why we test and product. We're deploying similar systems on Solana Change on the network, just as to start getting real life feedback on the network. Again, everything works. That's the most important part. It's just these little refinements that make it work better, that make it more resilient. So moving from the yield management system, there's another nuance that we want to probably highlight real quick. Carol also and I were talking about this before, is that the smart contract logic uses something called a tax on transfer function. This tax on transfer function applies universally to any kind of transaction with the token. What this means is, even if you're trading it, yes, you will be taxed if you're buying and selling it. There's also the taxation also applies to moving it. So we're asking whoever can, please don't send the tokens from different accounts to accounts, because they will be taxed at 10% as well. There is a way to get around this, of course. And look, if it's super necessary, like you need to move assets between this, do as you must. But we please ask, like, reach out to us. There is a workaround model for this, and we'll help configure everything on a case by case basis. If you don't need a send, this doesn't apply to you. It doesn't matter. Most nodes probably won't be sending anyway. But the quick fix on how to avoid this, I'll pause because I'm not even like a quarter. I'm probably like a quarter of the way through or a third. So I'll pause right after this. The fix to this is implementing a delegated systems contract, which is basically a program owned by the Solana blockchain. And what it does is whenever transfer functions go, whenever somebody's transferring assets, not trading them, whenever somebody's transferring assets, it would effectively use the same logic that Tether, USDC, and most other major wrapped Bitcoin, most of these other stable coin like assets or pegged assets work, is they would burn and then mint again. So it would burn it, instead of you transferring it, it would burn from your account and it would mint them on your destination address. This takes a little bit of time to implement, but I'm going to stop right there because we're going to keep going. Pause. Any feedback, Kara? Do you want to add anything?
I've seen, well, first, Joshua, I've seen several times you have raised your hand. I get back to you straight away, okay? I just want to touch on a couple of things since I know the community here on the call and many of you speak German and have as well problems. Tina, I know, understanding everything. Plus, it's super technical. So I just wanted to say, don't worry about it. Everything that is important, I'm going to write it and we'll give it to you or we'll send a German voice note. Plus, as well, nobody, like, it's not a must to understand all the details. Like even myself, I'm with Andre basically all the time when we are not physically together. We are like online and sharing screens. And for me as well, there's things happening I didn't even know they existed, like the sniper bots, for example, and some terminology where I'm like, okay, hold on, what does that actually mean? And I have to dive in it. So I know it's a lot, and but for me, it's still important that we share everything with you because some people are very interested in it. And basically, it's up to you on what you want to catch up to. You hear it, you absorb it, you always learn and grow. This is important. Even if you think you don't, you get it. And next time you hear about it, you said, oh, Andre talked about sniper bots. Now I actually do understand what it is. So just don't be scared. In case you just want to market it, you just want to buy, you just want to sell, you don't want to get the mechanics behind, that's absolutely fine. And please don't forget that we have our official community group. If you have people, you don't have to explain everything. If someone has detailed questions, first of all, you can always send the Git book and they can read it through themselves. And secondly, send them to our community group where they can ask questions. So whenever they have a question you cannot answer, you just say, let Carl or Shilzi or myself answer in the group. That is very important. The material I'm going to share in the group, the one pagers, read them through with patience, and we have them in all languages. Yeah, they're already translated. So there you can read it in Italian, you can read it in French, in Hungarian, in Japanese, in every language we have a market in. That I have sent out. And the only thing that is important to understand from everything that has been said at the moment, that everyone is on the same page, once you receive your token, just don't transfer them to other wallets. This is what Andre said. But again, I'm going to write the super important stuff as a message in the group that everyone has that crystal clear and that we are all safe when we launch. Okay. Back to Josh. No, not back to Andre yet. Joshua, do you want to jump in quickly before Andre gets back?
Yeah, sure. Just a quick question on your very first two slides. A quick summary in like a one sentence. Is it fair to say, generally speaking, that yield is based on percentage of tokens owned in a wallet?
Yes.
You're so smart.
Yes, and it's all weighed on the live circulating supply. So if assets, for example, there's 100% of the tokens, and let's say 10% of them are in the liquidity pool, those 10% do not qualify for yield. So that means 100% of the yield would be generated through the remaining 90%. So, and that applies to different asset types. Like if there's a wallet for growth that's used for partnerships for different elements, incentives, stuff like this, that doesn't accrue yield. So that means now that's by about 5%. That means the 100% of yield goes to 85%, and like it gets distilled down only throughout the circulating live supply.
Oh yeah, got it. So, but if we were to summarize to someone, that would be an easy way to say, and because there may be let's say a billionaire comes in and buys, 100,000 tokens in a year from now, or you get the idea. Their wallet is going to hold, as an example, more Cs than maybe others. They then become a dominating yield receiving wallet because of the number of tokens they have, as an example. compared to maybe smaller ones. Or well, I get you. I hear you. I hear you.
Logically, yes.
I get it. I get it.
Logically, yes.
Yeah.
That would also imply that they would have to own more percentage of the asset, and getting that from a DEX is there has to be a willing seller for this. So if that happens, they would spike the price so much just to try to do that. It's the same kind of economic security that's provided by staking Ethereum here, like the amount of tokens in circulation. No one whale can just come and shut everybody. I mean, if everybody wants to sell them their tokens, sure, that's a different conversation. But essentially, logically, yes, if a big whale comes in and gets more, he will own like. Look at it this way: you guys own 100%. A massive whale comes in, buys exactly the same amount everybody else has. Now the yield is split 50% to him, 50% to all the other nodes. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so easy to know that just based on percentage of tokens owned in one wallet by the entire network, and that determines the yield distribution, right?
Correct.
Great. That was the only thing I wanted to ask. And also launch date, is it still Monday, December 8th? And what time?
As of right now, yes, everything is looking like it's good on time. For a exact time, I don't know. It's all gonna come down to how cleanly I'm able to deploy the thing, because that's what I talk about. The actual, when you look at this, when you productize this, break it down to its like fundamental first principles. You have the yield system as a product, which makes sure that all the value is properly flowing, and you have the token itself, and the token needs to be handled with a whole slew of micro things around it. This means, for example, what I mentioned is that we're going to need to implement, in order to handle the transaction fees, a burn mint function. We have to open up a lot of conversations. So before I go dive back into that, short answer, yes. Right now, 8th is on time. Everything is on schedule for the 8th. Exact time, we'll let you know as soon as we know. But as soon as Monday, you should be expecting to receive your coins. That's what the plan is right now.
It's a major compliment to you that everyone is going to be waiting at their computer on Monday based on the exact second. Okay, what was the second count that he gave as the time, the minute and the second, please, what he said? But yeah, everyone is very excited about that. So everyone's kind of keen on that. So that's why I asked. I'm sure you understood that already.
Of
We
course.
can probably as well, we're going to update you getting closer to the date. And like the goal basically for you is to tell your people, we sent a message, check your wallets, you have your token. Once you have your token, you know your yield is activated, and then you actually tell your team, look, guys, you can buy. So we go first with you, let you know, and then it's up to you. I'm going to talk about the pre-registration after Andre is done, which will touch a bit on the whole mechanics behind and how to prepare. But Andre, you still have more things on your list, right?
Yes. So these are things that, again, we'll just deal with. None of these are ultra critical. I just want to let everybody know ahead of time, so there's no surprise later. This goes actually back to the AMM concept. So on launch, the flywheel is very, 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 very strong. So please be expecting a lot of volatility. I'm expecting extreme volatility. Yes, it is to the upside, I believe. But again, you can be expecting really strong spikes. There's going to be a lot of movement on launch, so please just be prepared for it. I know it's a weird thing to kind of bring up, but we just ran some simple math, some numbers, and it can get very, very, very flywheely. So it's just something that, again, I want everybody to know. Now, the other component is after launch, there's a possibility that the Jupiter warning signs are going to be also lit up. It's just like typical standard practice. After a new token's launch, it takes some time for them to do all their diligence and checking, and some projects still get stuck because Jupiter has and that's just one of the entities. Jupiter, CoinMarketCap, CoinGecko, they all have at least a couple days long of a process to get everything verified, get everything done. SoulScan, DEX tools. There's a bunch of different platforms that we need to go through and register, because we can't pre-register without like a concrete token address that we only get when the token is generated. So just be aware of that. It doesn't actually mean anything. It doesn't stop or halt any trading. It's just going to be there. There's also something we implemented around the actual yield payout, where there will be a minor lag on it. So what the minor lag means is there's a nuance in the system where, let's say somebody's watching the Seas network, and they know that at some trigger point there's going to be a yield payout. So they can act in their own interests, be entering right before a yield payout if in their calculations that yield payout would be bigger than their cost to enter, and then that would just be entering, taking yield and leaving, or entering a very optimal point and then basically getting those free. So there's a lot of gamification here that's taking place, but again, everything works perfectly. So the yield is going to be paid out most likely on a daily cadence. I'm on purpose not letting anybody know when exactly the yield is going to be arriving in your wallets, but it should be unilateral. So again, we don't prioritize who gets yield first. It happens simultaneously. Then that was basically the basics of it. Oh, I mean, I guess we'll go into some other things that, like, just some of the stuff I've noticed. So I saw that a lot of people are already actually being onboarded. And Renata, you're doing an amazing job. It's just a quick note of appreciation. You're actually the fastest growing leader sign up, referral sign up. Like, great job. Yeah, I
Let's
didn't
go,
expect
Renate.
So that's a really, really good job. And I promise we may not mention everything at first, but we noticed this, and everybody that actually puts in the elbow grease to help us out will be taken care of and receive some form of extra appreciation. I don't know what it is, but it will happen. We appreciate the actual unity in it.
I think actually what would be cool, just to jump in quickly, because Joshua has mentioned something similar before. He just said, what if we would have a leaderboard? We obviously cannot do a leaderboard on Dashboard because we are decentralized, but why don't we do like a little competition before launch? We can do something. I would speak, Andre, sorry to overstep you here. Let's speak about that afterwards. But maybe to wake everyone up a bit, and I will write it into the group as well. Why not to see, because we see how many people have registered with your link. Why not do we see until Monday, until launch, first, second, and third, and you get like extra airdrops or something. You know that I always do these kinds of competitions within my team. So let me think of something. Let me talk it through with Paul and Andre. And well, Renato, if you keep going like that, you stay first. Everyone else, you still have a chance. And I'm going to talk about it, how I would do it. And yeah, Joshua.
Renata, I'm coming after you. I'm just saying.
Try to catch her. She's quick. I
Just
know
kidding.
her.
Just kidding. Just kidding. We all win. We all win.
Yeah, always. This is the nice stuff. The more Renata does, the more you win, Josh. So that's awesome. Great. Okay, sorry, Andre. Back to you.
Yeah, no, that's amazing, because it's literally the one for all and all for all philosophy, where everybody helps everybody. Literally, it's that. I forgot you said something about infinite earning or something like this.
Yeah,
And
infinity bonus. Yeah.
infinity bonus. It's that's basically what it is. That's how it works. That's what it's designed to do, and it's just packaged anyway. So yes, and Renata, great job. What's it called? The last thing we probably mention right now is that we're already talking to JBNB for the community member airdrop, so that everybody you are referring is going to also receive something from our partnership, from our partners as an airdrop. Right now, what we said we're going to do is they're going to take a week after the token launch to actually get some kind of data to work with, and then they'll do like a official announcement and then airdrop it, so then everybody can actually see it in their wallet. Like, hey, check right now for a separate distribution for JBNB. We don't know what size it is. We did speak about like the most logical way to do the airdrop would be some percentage of their entry. We don't know what this looks like yet. So if somebody came in for, I don't know, like $1,000, they'll get like X amount, like a proportionate percentage in JBNB. We just don't know. They have to calculate on their side so that they can also manage it with their liquidity. So but we're already configuring that, so that's going to be taken care of already. And the last thing I'd mention is what's actually in the pipeline, like the near to midterm kind of mini brick without any details, the token genesis and systems deployment, listings and verifications. I bunched this as administrative because there's such a chunk of it to do. It's wonderful. We're releasing the internal blogging platform probably on this Saturday, if not also next week, which just means instead of our blogs being on Medium, we're also going to have our own blog to start driving SEO back to ourselves. And I mean, there's so many nuances we're not going to uncover now. Like, we're using Medium, we use our own blog, we're going to be using Substack and a couple other platforms, and this we actually carve out a pocket of cyberspace and dominate the search engine for seasons, seize crypto. Like, we're working on that. It takes time. You have to actually build that up, but that's the internal blogging platform coming up very soon. Then in the near term, those who have seen it, those who have not, is the dashboard of V1. When we release it exactly, we don't know. It just needs to make sense to be releasing it because it is a pretty dense product. There's a lot of buttons to click, a lot of analytics to making sure it's properly being gathered and presented. And the last part, a yield system V2, which is a prelude to what I mentioned a little bit earlier about the yield management system, having these different functions in place to allow for transfers and opening up our B2B side of operations. That's last priority right now, but it's already like in the pipeline. So you can think of it, when we open the B2B integration component, we're already sourcing paying people to, like, paying projects that are interested in becoming this. And then after we open the B2B integration, most likely lead to more airdrops because people consent to join the actual Seize system. So that's in a nutshell.
Perfect. A big nutshell, I know. Lots of it. You're like, oh, okay. Well, Josh, I know you are getting lots of it because, first of all, you are English speaking and you are very engaged and study everything. Everyone that is not at that point yet, again, don't worry about it. What I just want to speak about, I just took a couple of notes while Andre was talking. We are starting to do a couple of community calls. So, for example, on Saturday, we have a call with the team Latin America. They have invited us. So Andre and I are going to be on the call. In case you guys want to organize a call for Germany, for Canada, for whatever you want to do, just let me know, please, and we organize. Now we are very, very busy until launch. After launch, we stay busy. But then especially I know I offered myself and everyone was like, no, not just you, we also want Andre. So Andre has to have some time as well. At the moment, we're in different time zones, but everything is possible. There's no challenges that cannot be overcome. So I wanted to let you know that we're going to do that. Also, I want to do some maybe some mini AMA sessions we can be releasing that people actually know who we are, what's the driver behind. Maybe just, it's all ideas so far, but maybe Andre can speak on a couple of topics as well in like AMA style that we can send out, where you can tell people, okay, they would really be interested in that topic, and we have that as small sequences directly from us. Then I wrote down as well tutorials. Paul was working on our tutorials, like video tutorials, which we also have in all languages, like how to open up a Phantom wallet, how to fund the Phantom wallet with Solana, how to do a swap, how to use Jupiter. Joshua, I know it's very important for you. It's literally one mouse click and you see it. So that is great. I hope we can release it even tonight already. Regarding the other prep work, what I would highly recommend you follow Renate's footsteps and share the link you're having, because we all know how important it is or how easy it is to pre-build. When you pre-build, like for myself, it's always like I get in the loop, I know what I have to do, and I know how to explain the project. The more I do it, the more fluent I get. For me personally, we all know like the early mover advantage. It would just be great for us as well that we see how big is actually going to be the start. And for you guys as well, you know who you are engaging already. And from there on, we only grow. And what Andre just mentioned again, I mentioned it in one call before, is that we basically talking in network marketing language, we have an infinity bonus and we have infinity spillover. So the more we do, the more your neighbor does, the more everyone is doing. And the earlier we start, the better. So this is, I recommend you, it's super simple. Tell everyone, just send out messages, just open up what they need right now is only a Solana wallet. That's it. They click on your link and they fill in the Solana wallet. That's all. Then they still have time to put some Solana on it, some USDC on it, and then they can buy whenever they want to buy. But the main preparation for you guys is basically just to tell them that the project goes live and they need the Phantom wallet and they log in with your link so they get airdrops and you get your rewards. Yes, Joshua.
Can you go through just a quick I know you've done it once before in one of the Zooms. Can you go through just a visual showing of that again so we can see how that works with the referral link? I haven't done it yet. So well, Renata probably should take over and show us because she that was my first question. And related to the referral, can you go through the general nature of the benefits for the referees and the benefits for the referrers, so that we get and any limitations on that 2.5%? So is it based on what that wallet buys consistently, first buy, forever, et cetera, et cetera?
Okay, first of all, the link, I can see if I don't have a link because I don't know if Renate, if I can show your link, for example, we can show it visually or you just click it because all of you have links. If you click on your link yourself, you can do that because nothing happens. You click on the link and even if you want to do a trial, so you click on the link. If I would refer you right now, Joshua, I would send you my link. It opens up and it says, please put a username and your wallet address, Phantom wallet address. So you just put it in and you hit the submit button. That way we get it or Seasons gets it and we internally can map your genealogy basically already in the background. So whenever that is done, that person just has to remember, okay, I did it with ABC wallet. Yeah, let's call it ABC wallet. With that wallet, they connect to Jupiter or wherever they want and they buy C's. We track that. We see, or our system sees that that wallet is connected to you and you are getting your reward.
Everything you just said is brilliant, and I got it. Thank you. Could we create a quick video on that, like a 45-second video that shows all that, just
We can
for
just
other?
do it when the coin is
Oh,
launched,
we could do that
basically.
too. That's true. But because I just mean that there are people that maybe aren't here, and so if we launch on Monday, and if we want to get people signed up quickly, showing a quick clip of what we don't have to go through the entire process, but just showing what it looks like. Picture is worth 1,000 words, and it'll make a lot of sense for people that maybe are not sure. Um,
I got it. I'll do it for you.
okay,
It'll,
thank you
it'll
very
take a
much.
minute. I'll do it for you.
Okay,
Caro,
thank you.
Caro,
Thanks.
but you can show my link and it's quite easy. You just have to put in two things.
Yeah, hold on. Let me check. Give me 1 second. You can keep talking. I just look for links in the meantime.
So yeah, another question you quickly asked in there was what does the people that are actually joining through your link, what do they get? So there has to be an incentive to drive them to buy. Like, why not just buy off the market? If they buy after registering to your link, they will receive an airdrop from JBNB. More partners probably if possible, but that's guaranteed. The size of the airdrop, I don't know, but it's still more than if they go anywhere else. I mean, there's nothing comparable. So my expectation, what's a typical healthy random airdrop for somebody like JBNB, I'd be expecting in a couple of percentage points. I don't know exactly. I told you we're talking. They have to give us like what's sustainable for them, but a couple percentage points for every $1,000. If you get an extra 10, 20, whatever amount of dollars, that's all your gas fees. Solana gas fees are negligible. So one of those airdrops effectively becomes gas for you for years on Solana. So again, it depends how you actually look at it too.
And so that would be an airdrop of the current token. Would it also mean maybe of future tokens that each of the coins or tokens launches, for example? Or no?
Well, that will automatically be applying to nodes. Nodes for sure to get that. That's that angelic system that we have for our business to business side of things. Could there be an added incentive driver? I'm pretty sure once people actually see how this product feel, like again, actually get a feeling for it. So I'm talking about, I mean, again, it's honestly, it is different for nodes. The nodes have a whole different dynamism to it because there's generating yield, there's the movement of the token itself, so like it's multi-pronged. But for regular people, that speculative value driver I showed, that 25% window, think about how humongous of an actual candle that is. And this is something that's constantly being stimulated to be moving the candle up and down. So it's a very, like, I guess, fluid or widely moving asset. So they'll be able to enter and see, I'm assuming, humongous changes, relatively humongous changes. Again, for me, I consider anything annualized at 100% absolutely dream come true. Anything at 100% annualized is amazing. So even when you see 25% in shorter bricks of time, I think that's incredible.
And are there, going back to the referrer, what are the, so 2.5% from every purchase in that wallet, or, yeah.
No, it's 2.5% from their actual entry into the thing. So again, let's say you have somebody who wants to bring $100,000. We do not recommend they would dump that all in one buy. They will lose on. I mean, look, ultimately it's good for the project because it goes into slippage. It doesn't really matter. However, we still want to make sure that all the users also feel really good with what happens. So we would recommend breaking it up into 4 purchases or 2 purchases, whatever it is. Like you can put in Jupyter, you'll enter 25,000 and you'll see the slippage lowers X percentage, and then you can execute it. I would recommend $10,000 purchases is like a stable, totally fine, negligible if not non-slippage, basically. 10K is fine. But they break up their 100K into 4 portions. You would still get 2.5% off the 100K, not off of that, because we'll be able to see this person broke up one transaction into multiple buys. And there's 2.5% on the way out. So whenever in the future they do leave some position of their assets, let's say like 3, 4, 5 months later, somebody sells whatever 100,000 tokens. If they have 100,000 tokens, whatever they are at, you'll get 2,500 tokens worth, and it's based on the volume and price of the asset that sees at the time. So,
is it based on every withdrawal or just the final withdrawal that clears the wallet?
There's one for entry, 2.5% in, and 2.5% out. It's a one-time.
Got it.
I'm ready to share screen, just that you see it quickly. So, hold on. Do you see my screen?
Telegram.
Okay, yes. Here's the link. I open it. Do you like the username, no, Joshua?
You're not opening it.
Oh, hold on.
You need to demonstrate your entire screen, not just your
hold on.
window. Yeah.
Hold on. Give me 1 second. Now you see it?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. So here is the username. I just clicked on the link. So let's say Renate would have sent it to me. I open it up. How do I want to be called? So it doesn't have to be the real name. It says here you can do whatever. So I say I'm called 1. I'm going to put in my Solana wallet address and I submit the form.
And
this is it. Now we see it gets into our back office, if you want to call it like that, and we are able to connect the wallet, my wallet I just put in, with Renate's wallet. So now what I would do is I would follow the tutorial that we're going to release, how to buy Seas. So I open up my wallet, the one I just registered here, my Phantom wallet. I follow the tutorial on how to buy. I don't have to do anything anymore. I don't have to follow any referral links. I buy. We scan all wallets and see, oh, that wallet that registered with Renate just bought. So Renate is going to get the 2.5% triggered into her wallet. And this is it. So basically, yeah.
Sorry, so go ahead. I'll add a little.
Go.
It came to me that it wouldn't be, it would be beneficial for everyone, and no one's obviously obligated, but for anyone who doesn't have a referral link, they can use ours. No?
I wouldn't, because
Like, for example, what if Renata joins 10 people and says, well, these individuals are going to join. What if they have the benefit of using the referral link, even though they're not Renata, but they're still, do you know what I mean? Is that
it wouldn't make sense. I personally don't think so, because Renate, if people do that for her, so you mean she has people of the people of the people of the people that always take Renate's link, right? Great
because
for Renate, bad for the rest. Because
Well, no,
no,
why not? Why not?
no.
Renata can actually incentivize them by saying you can. I'll split my ref fee with you half and half, 1.25% each. Is it
To
a
me,
cashback or a kickback on whatever they're doing?
this is a win-win-win-win everywhere, because the people who Renata is giving her link to are going to be grateful to Renata for doing it. So they can say thank you so much here, and I'm going to use your referral and have other people sign. All those people who sign up get
the airdrop.
the airdrop. So everyone wins. Um, it's just a thought. If there's any disadvantage to the network, I would never have anyone do it. But if it's an advantage, why not?
It's definitely an advantage, and definitely everybody wins. That's a simple one. Again, it's up to you how you do it, but everybody would basically win. Yes.
We would just make sure we consciously tell them, by the way, this is my referral link, and I will get something for this, FYI. But they will also, like, if I don't care what I receive from anyone in directly, like the 2.5, but I am excited about them getting airdrops, as long as that doesn't disadvantage C's tokens or JBNB, because maybe it does. If it doesn't, then we're good.
Well, I mean, there is some fine possible limit, but I'm pretty sure that same reflexive like the flywheel is reflexive. So JBNB receives C's yield, B pays it out, and yield affects it growing out. JBNB then increases its distribution to more holders through this. I mean, it's long. I mean, over the long run, everything should be incredible. The synergies are excellent.
Thank you too for being open to my questions. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Of course.
It's good.
I think the only thing that comes to mind, if anybody else has a comment or question, concern, something you want to discuss, talk about, please just start talking. A good thing you asked me before, Josh, on our personal call was the pricing mechanism. How does something actually get priced on chain? So a lot of people are used to centralized exchanges, and that's the user interface experience there is basically what? You take your asset, you open the asset, you put a price, and you put buy or sell at that price, and then you get an order placed at that level, and then the market makers start pricing things. So, example, let's say you have asset XYZ, it's never been traded before. You go to some random exchange, and at that exchange, you list like $10,000 worth of orders at $1, whatever, and it's like there's only the point being, if on the centralized exchange model, if those tokens are bought for $1, you're priced at $1 throughout the network, even if that was only maybe 10,000 out of a billion tokens. That's not how you price something. You need a much larger set. So that's where decentralized mechanics come into play. In decentralized settings, the model for exchanges is called an AMM, an automated market maker. The way it prices assets is you open a liquidity pool. That liquidity pool has a balance of tokens, $2, or Solana, whatever, but let's make it simple, $2. So if in a pool there is, for example, 10% of an asset and $1 million, that network is valued at $10 million, 10x. It's 1/10 for 10. It would just be the exact distribution of it. Now, let's say somebody comes in and buys half the tokens. Half the tokens will cost them, just to keep the math simple, $500,000. Now, the relationship in that pool becomes 500,000 tokens in the pool to $1.5 million. Now that means that that coin is now marked at $30 million because it goes from 10 million down half supply up 2 times in its the amount of dollars. It's the relationship in the pool between the assets. So that's a part of why I'm saying on launch, it's going to be very, very, very like exciting. And we'll also create a similar guide to the other ones we had where we talk about an AMM also in like 3 basic steps: tokens, price, change. That's it. So people get it as well.
There's a question from Janet. Could DAO changes, hold on, now it's gone. Could DAO changes dilute holder value despite hard-coded claims?
Are you asking if there is a way to mint more tokens, if that's the question?
Sure, I'm asking for a friend.
I mean, look, I'm not sure if you were actually on some of the call in one of the calls where I talked about the actual product roadmap. Let me open it myself so that I have it in front of my eyes. The DAO is giving, give me a second. The DAO is given a certain, they're given control and ownership over the actual protocol. The protocol handles things such as, one second. The protocol handles things such as asset nomination, what assets are being used to pay yield out, delisting, we'll call them regulations, like does the community not for some reason want to be affiliated with this asset anymore, they can just remove it. There's a fee gauge, so right now it's the 10% transaction fee. The DAO can technically try to collaborate and see, like, we would feel better at 8%. It's up to them. Then you have the distribution triggers of how often assets are paid out, or the model in which they're paid out. Maybe you want to split them into different seasons, like season 1 is memes, season 2 is AI, season 3 is GameFi or RWAs, whatever it is, and you want to be doing some kind of different distribution triggers where they fly through each other, combine them, and inclusion list refinements. So it's not just about what assets you receive, but how you receive them and what portions. Maybe you want to put in some extra mechanism to smooth out distributions amongst nodes. So there's different gears that the DAO will be able to twist. At the end of the day, there is no such thing as hard-coded. Bitcoin can have its asset inflated if all the core developers went and go literally chain 1 lines of code that says how many there's 21 million with 9 zeros tokens. If the developers actually collaborated and went to go increase it, they would do it. Yes, the network would fork and there would be 2 versions of it, and hard-coded only is in the context of what's actually going on. So in the event the DAO wants to do this, but the majority of the participants or other nodes are for some reason not happy about it, they can just quite literally fork it and just continue operating on this. There's like the hard coding claim. It's not really real. Even if Bitcoin, the most resilient asset or digital animal out there, it's also not hard coded.
Thank you.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah. Also, I was talking, oh yeah, Josh.
I think also there's many people won't know what a DAO is, even though they've seen it, but they don't know what it is. Could you summarize what a DAO is?
And it's a decentralized autonomous organization. It's, if you just slowly say it, decentralized autonomous organization, and read it backwards. It's an organization that works systematically, automatically, that is decentralized. So it means owned by multiple people. So think of like any company you think of, Colgate or whatever it is. And Colgate, the company, is not owned by private shareholders. It's owned by addresses on chain. That's it. It's a decentralized autonomous organization.
And so in this case, it means the token holders.
Correct.
Yeah. So all token holders form the DAO, and then all token holders together decide through voting mechanisms what happens with changes to the hard, soft code.
Yeah, I mean, yes, we'll still see how or like what there's different types of DAOs to implement, just like you have LLCs, S corps, C corps, and different types of legal organizations. You also have different types of legal DAOs. So one of the key elements when it comes to operating a decentralized autonomous organization is that there always needs to be some reliable entity or somebody within the DAO that can actually work with code. So if you just submit to a DAO, I want to increase the supply, you have to know how to go actually like open a command line, make your additions, make whatever, work in whatever editor you're using, and then submit those requests to GitHub, pull that master branch and push it back. So there's a lot of technical administration that's needed to oversee this, like a technical committee that needs to implement those things.
Super. In case, Andre, I don't know if you have more things on the list. In case not, since we're coming close to the hour, I would like to ask Joshua. Today I had a call with Joshua and our designer. And Joshua, can I talk about the name? Can you? Okay. So I actually give the word over to Joshua because I don't know if you have all read in our group the 24 reasons for seasons, and maybe have watched the recording of the last week's call. In case you haven't, please do so. Joshua has found 2 more points. So I would like to ask you, Joshua, because I don't even know it. Please reveal 2 more coins as well, points, why seasons, and let us know the spiritual name of seasons also, please.
Has Andre heard this yet?
Nope.
So it just came to me yesterday morning. Has everyone here heard of a spirit name? We all have like a spirit name, spirit animal, spirit name. For some of you who are not into that, it'll sound like a little woo-woo, but for fun, I'm going to paste it in the chat. So you're going to be able to see, you're going to be able to see what this is. So the spirit name for Seas, this is the spirit name, is
Clever.
Love that.
Yeah, me too.
Isn't that great? Isn't that just stunning right there?
Yep.
At least to me, at least it made me laugh when it came. That's all that really mattered. Yeah,
To me
but
as well, I
very
was
cool.
like, ease, it feels like that. And then
Yeah,
this ease sees, I love it. It's really
right?
good.
The
Yep.
dollar sign on the front, my God, just is perfection. So I have like 8 pages of no. I'm only going to share 2 items because I know we're getting close to the time. So, uh, or I can give one extra little item. One, who votes
Yeah.
for one extra item? One extra item on top
Yes.
of the 2? Okay.
Go.
There is an individual in the world who's most known for relocating people. He's known as Nomad Capitalist, and I love his material. And his slogan is perfection. Go where you are treated best.
Mhm.
And I feel like the community that we have, especially those of you that are creating this, treat us so well. It is so enjoyable to come and be treated like that. And I think we all feel the same. So I'm going to temporarily borrow his slogan, um, go where you're treated best. We are absolutely treated best with C's and the team. And I think all of us are generally, yeah, right? Isn't it true? And all of us do that for each other. So I wanted to give that little quick mention. Okay, now to the two new advantages. I'm going to read them just to get it fairly right. One is really fun verbally when you hear it, or actually written, I should say. Every seas holder can forge their own season's destiny, as cheesy as it sounds. We do not have to wait on others or leaders to move our destiny for us. There is no waiting on others making decisions on our behalf, managing our funds, etc. This is built on Solana through a smart contract. Each season's token holder is empowered with possibility. True?
True. I'm
True.
still going to do a call with you and record all of this.
Okay. And next one. So actually those advantages, the 26 advantages list, we can actually use every single one of the advantages in their own and create their own, use them as their own advantage compared to other items. So it's not that the 26 advantages together make this extraordinary. We can use each one individually and compare them to other things and use them individually that way. So together they're profound, but we can also use each one. Here's number 26. It's a little bit more comical. Seez does, yeah, okay, let me restart. Seez does have a tiered system, node and no node. However, the benefits of having a node inspire one to get a node. And as a result of the influx of yield or dollars from others to buy a node, increases the value of those who know no node. So those that don't have a node, the value of their tokens keep going up anyway. So they still benefit. Most tiered systems hurt one and benefit another. This benefits everyone. So when there are people buying more nodes, it actually still really benefits everyone who doesn't have a node because the value of their token keeps going up, ideally. Seez is a perfectly symbiotic community agreement. It's a perfectly symbiotic community agreement whereby larger buyers are incentivized, which in turns is reaped by other node owners and token holders overall. This is not only Three Musketeers, this is all somewhat more true to a Robinhood coin as well. The end. You may have to hear that a few hundred times. The verbiage is pretty fun, but anyhow, you get the idea.
It's the esoteric, poetic approach to the design speaks to a certain type of audience. And what we spoke about yesterday in our team call was actually something along these lines, that we need to have a better understanding of who and where the buyer is according to which part of the product you're showing them. So there's the four main baskets of what it is. If you're selling the node, you're basically selling people a passive stream of income. So this is a much more Web 2-like audience, where this poetic kind of approach doesn't really speak to the typical crypto degen. They're more interested in the asset distribution pipeline. You're going to pump more memes. So it depends who you're talking to and when you're talking to them. But this is the same way that like Bitcoin had lots of narratives, anti-government, this, that, and its winning narrative, in my opinion, it was the digital gold. It was so simple, so clean, so easy to comprehend that actually broke its, we'll call it the 20K barrier, and now we're here. Like whatever that price point may be. And there's something similar that will happen to Seez as we keep actually talking about it like this.
I love it. I was in a session with a client the other day, and this came up, and they said I had to say it here. I'm not a financial advisor, of course, and this is not financial advice, but I am an abundance advisor, and I do give abundance advice. Consider buying Seez and being a part of a global village.
Renate, he's coming close. Joshua. He will hang up now and we will see tomorrow. He will be like, I'm first. Awesome, guys. Yeah, we are in now over an hour. So Joshua, thanks again, because it's very refreshing just to hear your opinion, and everyone again who wants to share something, who is in need of something. Today, for example, I had a call with Joshua regarding marketing material, just to see, because he asked as an example, and I think it's a good idea to have the 24 by now 26 reasons of him as well with the C's design, for example, that it looks good, that he can share it. Whatever you have, we're going to work on a checklist in case you see something that is not there yet, what you really need, what would help it for you to make it much easier. Please don't hesitate. Just write it in the chat or write me privately and we will make it happen. Oh, you wrote it. Good, Joshua. Just to make sure. Yes, you're not a financial advisor. We don't hear you. We don't hear you.
Anyone can use this. That's why I put it there.
Okay, awesome. Great. So in case there's no more questions, I think we can end the call and share it as a recording.
Awesome talking to you guys. See you soon.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.